Hello and greetings, fellow StarCrafters. PGL Mintcraft here with a 1 versus 1 between the red Terran player, or red Protoss player rather, I don't know why I said Terran, Liquid Huck, and the yellow Protoss player, RGN KiwiKaki. This game is just like the Idra games that I casted previously, is from the North American Invitational. It's a tournament sponsored by Blizzard. 4 players within North America that allows them to compete, and then like the best players get to then compete at BlizzCon, which is coming up fairly soon, I believe October, or maybe it's as soon as September. But anyway, this is going to be a Protoss versus Protoss, as these are two very good foreign, when I say foreign I do mean non-Korean Protoss players, and this should be a very exciting match. The map is Shattered Temple, a modified version of Lost Temple, and it's going to be very interesting to see exactly what kind of builds people go. Shattered Temple is a little bit different than other games like Tal'Darim Altar, because it is possible, in fact, to hold the because the ramp is so narrow, you can hold this 4-gate with less than a 4-gate just by using force fields right here. No early expands or anything like that. This is still Protoss versus Protoss. And we do see KiwiKaki actually coming out. Oh no, this is just a scouting probe. You can actually do close spawns in Shattered Temple. So he is actually going to check that first. He's going to see that Liquid Huck is not there, and he's going to go up and move out. I do want to talk just for a little bit before the action starts about the players. Liquid Huck, I've casted before. I've talked about him extensively, so I won't elaborate too much, but very good Protoss player, very good with his force fields, love his sentry play, although not so much in Protoss versus Protoss, just because sentries are just less useful in that scenario, just because they don't deal enough damage, they don't tank enough damage. Meanwhile, KiwiKaki, he reached second place of MLG Dallas, and just a very good Protoss player. He's also done a lot of, he's kind of known for mothership rushing. Not known for it, but became popular as a result of it. Huck, as I said previously, very well known for his harassment with his probe, the way he spams the mining, so that other probes are not able to mine off of these mineral patches, and actually reduces the amount of income that KiwiKaki can get just by a little bit, not by too much, just by a tad. We see Cybernetics Core going down. Alright, so actually the Cybernetics Core is slightly delayed there. That is going to delay. It's delayed by almost a chrono boost. How much a chrono boost would affect Warp Gate when they both finish is what I mean by that. And so it's going to be interesting to see if that's going to end up playing a bit of a role. It will mean that Huck will have a little bit of an advantage in terms of instigating a 4-gate if he ends up going for that. We also see that KiwiKaki is just zapping at that little pylon right there, but he's got a lot of shields to go through, so it's probably not going to be too terribly effective at this point in time. Cybernetics Core is finishing. We should see a Stalker coming out after the Zealot, and Warp Gate, of course, which is so important in any matchup, really, but particularly in a Protoss versus Protoss, it can be incredibly important to get that Warp Gate on time. And actually, he's chrono boosting nothing right now. He couldn't. Why isn't he building the Stalker there? He chrono boosted out the Zealot. Wow, he just wasted his chrono boost. That's interesting. Well, that evens up the Warp Gates, assuming that KiwiKaki decides to chrono Warp Gate with all of his energy, then actually that it's going to even up the Cybernetics Core timing, and that's actually not going to have much of an effect at all. Looks like the Zealot is going to chase away Liquid Huck's probes, but not for Liquid Huck steals the pylon there. Huck's Zealot realizes that that's not his base, because he obviously had his probe up there, decides not to follow the probe into the little section down here, doesn't want to get trapped by a Stalker or anything like that. He also wants to, he knows that he's not going to be able to catch the probe in this huge wide open area, and the probe can just slide around the Zealot and get out. And so the Zealot's just going to return home to safety. He just wants to be ultra safe. You don't want to lose early units of Protoss versus Protoss just because they are so close in terms of units and in terms of resources and that sort of thing, so you want to be very careful with it. Huck is in fact going for a 3-gate Robo, which are all building at the same time. KiwiKaki was actually going for the 3 Stalker build, it looks like, to try to... The idea of the 3 Stalker build is you get out 2 early gateways, and then you try to kill any sort of pylons built near you, and it's supposed to be a counter to the 4-gate. It doesn't always end up being that way, but looks like he is transitioning into a 3-gate, and Huck is getting a Twilight Council? Did he cancel his Robo? No, he's getting a Robo into a Twilight Council, so that's actually a lot of tech for a Protoss versus Protoss all at once. But Huck, I think, might be confident that KiwiKaki is not going to decide to move out. Perhaps he recognized that the 4-gate was not happening, and in fact KiwiKaki is getting his Robo, but it's going to be significantly more delayed than Huck's. And, well, what are the other indicators, by the way, early on that you could tell? that both players, or neither player was going for a 4-gate, was that they both decided to get their gases relatively early. And that probe is going to be taken out. Unfortunately, Huck is not going to be able to get that probe away. Did lay down a pylon there. That pylon might become more useful in the future, especially with Huck moving out against KiwiKaki. That's a good place to refill all of his units. Or with, oh, I guess that's a defending Huck's base. He could do it to try to outflank KiwiKaki. If maybe KiwiKaki is sitting right here outside of his base, then he could use the pylon as a sort of stepping stone to be able to warp Zealotin outside and then kind of do a good flanking action. Now, the advantage of having your robo done sooner is you're going to get unimpeded vision of what your opponent is doing, and you can respond exactly. You can see their entire army composition. You can see all of their tech, although he's going to be very careful with this. He doesn't want that observer to get spotted, and it might have actually just been spotted there by KiwiKaki, because if it gets sniped, that's going to put KiwiKaki in the edge in terms of that sort of scouting, and actually this observer is going to cross right over that one. KiwiKaki should see that and move to take it out. Looks like he is going to move down. I don't think he's going to be able to take it out, though. Huck, meanwhile, has 3 zealots. No, sorry, 3 stalkers. No, we got 6 stalkers, all with blink. And blink stalkers are so much better than other stalkers. So he could represents a somewhat dangerous force here, as blink stalkers, you know, could basically just ignore zealots as long as you're microing properly. And able to deal a lot of damage. Able to snipe that. Nice! Able to snipe that observer. He has not revealed blink yet. That's important to recognize. So KiwiKaki does not know that he has blink, so he's trying to force field right now. But Huck force fields the entrance, so no more reinforcements are being able to come in. Able to snipe out those probes, reveals that he has blink. And Huck's forces, look, especially that Immortal, is not going to be able to rejoin the battle. Huck needs to force field again. Nice job. And looks like that Stalker barely blinking out in time. Nice job for Huck, and a lot of Zealots are moving in now. Not able to blink that last Stalker back, but these are a lot of Stalkers that are going down. Does not refill the force fields in time. The Stalkers are moving back, and they are able to get up the ramp, but this is just way too many forces for Huck. And I don't think an Immortal is going to do that much good here. I mean, it still takes 4 hits, and he's just going to get focused down by all of Huck's forces. The probes are getting pulled, but that's not going to matter. There's way too many blink stickers here. You see the shunt blink up there, able to take out all of his forces, and Huck is going to win in a decisive faction. Very nice move from Huck. Able to get not just the Robo, but also the early Twilight Council to make sure he had the timing attack, able to take out KiwiKaki's forces and defeat him utterly and convincingly. And since this is the best of 3, we'll be moving on to game number 2. This is PGL Mooncraft signing out.